My name is Daniela Gergel-Gualdi and I am the Artistic Director for Ronald Sachs International Music Competition. We are proud to present to you a series of interviews with our finalists. Hello!
Hello.
How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I am good. We're making these videos and interviews so our audience and our donors and your friends and family can, know a little bit more about you and get a little bit more up close and personal information about you rather than just hear you play. So I was wondering if you could start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm 22. I'm from just south of Atlanta, Georgia, but I go to school down at Columbus State University at the
Mhm.
Schwab School of Music. I've played violin since I was 5, and then coming up on 2 years now, I added viola as a second major at the school, and I've been
Yes.
studying with Dr. Katrin McDowell and
Mhm.
and going through that fun path.
So do you prefer one of the other? Do you think you're going to be specializing in viola more than in violin for the like in a future career?
Yeah, just because mainly because I'm better on it more than anything. I enjoy them both equally, but I know which one shows my strengths and which one shows my weaknesses.
Well, I've been told that viola is one of the most sophisticated instruments in the orchestra. They call it a queen of the string instruments. So
I mean, there's a reason why Mozart and Haydn would fight over it. There's got
yeah,
to be a good reason somewhere.
yes. Um, so could you tell us a little bit more about um your accomplishments, like some highlights of your career so far that you're really proud of or you would love us to know?
Yeah, sure. Um, lucky for you, I haven't done much yet. No, I've I I've been playing in I've been playing in youth orchestras was my thing, and I got started on everything a bit late. I've been playing violin since I was really young, but auditioning for orchestras I didn't start until I was in my later teens. And so I was concert master of in Atlanta, the Buckhead Youth Orchestra, the Fayetteville Philharmonic, and then I was in community symphony orchestra with adults, which was actually really helpful. Um, and so I got to do stuff like that, but I didn't compete in competitions really or do anything until this year was actually kind of the first time I really started. I did our school's concerto competition last year on both instruments and did it again on both instruments this year. Um, so
Both instruments.
that's where I've been. Pardon me?
On both instruments, you competed in the same competition?
Yeah, and I the first year I had like 40 minutes between both of them,
Oh,
and I had to have them both memorized, and that was like and then this year it was kind of the same thing. I had a little bit more time, but we had to make cuts because there were so many people in the
yeah.
first round, and so we had all new cuts that we had to learn, and like they gave us like a week maybe, and so then I was like trying to remember which instrument I was doing and which piece and which cuts and which piece, and
That's
so
crazy. But
yeah, it
kudos to
was
you.
fun. Yeah, yeah, but I got into Ronald Sachs this year, which is a big one. I won the Georgia Philharmonic Samuel Fortis competition, which gave me the opportunity to play actually the first movement of the block suite with orchestra, which was a big deal considering it's rarely performed. um, and I've gotten into 6 competitions this year, but this is my first year really uh, doing
So,
competitions.
so
Yeah.
you said that you participated in some competitions, and could you tell us a little bit why did you apply for Ronald Sachs, and why do you think the competitions are important for a young musician?
Yeah, I applied for Ronald Sachs initially because I actually my main violin worker. I got my violin from Ronald Sachs up in
Uh,
Lilburn, and my I play viola now. But the first viola that I started on, my brother's viola, he got from Ronald Sachs.
I
And
see.
so I was always going to we live more near the Peachtree City one, so we had been going to there for a while, and so Chris there, the owner manager, was
Mhm.
he told me I should try out for it, and so I took his advice.
Yeah, that is correct. Well, that I'm happy that you did that. Your repertoire that you submitted for Ronald Sachs competition, what is it? Can you tell us a little bit about it? What are you going to play?
um, it's the first movement of Bloch's 1919 suite for
Mhm.
viola and piano or viola and orchestra, however you
Mhm.
however you decide to look at it, because he composed it in 1919 and did a competition with it with Rebecca Clark's. I'm sure you know all this, but
Yes,
with the Rebecca Clark's sonata,
it's a beautiful
and
sonata, Rebecca Clark.
it it is, and he ended up winning, but there was that big scandal, I guess. I don't know if it was really a scandal, but it was, people are still upset about it today. So we see. But he was composing he as he was doing the piano score, he was also doing the orchestra part, and so you like really see, the similarities between the piano part and how things really easily translate to orchestra. But then some things just work better with piano and viola, and they
Hmm.
don't really work that well with orchestra and viola. So it's a really interesting piece, and I love Bloch's music. I've played almost all that I could on viola,
Hmm.
and I've been going through it on violin, just trying to get it all under my fingers. But I it's a really interesting, more modern sounding piece, but without being off-putting.
Where do you think your career is going to be taking you? What is the most ideal job after you're done with school?
I would like to be able to teach. I would like to be able to do it like you do and my teachers do. Teach at a university level where you can actually. I don't know. I'm just not good with kids, so I don't want to teach kids.
But you're
But
very young. That comes a little bit later. You need to have a lot of
okay,
patience. Yes. Don't dismiss
okay,
it just yet. Yeah.
right. But I would like to be able to teach older students. I'd like to be able to teach at upper university level
Hmm.
and do festivals, but also be able to perform, but
Hmm.
not have that be the absolute be all end all.
Do you feel by picking viola as your main instrument, that is bringing you less competition in today's world of classical music?
No, I
Yeah.
feel since like the viola field is so interesting, you
Oh,
know, because because the, there's such a range of like the super talented people,
mhm.
and then the people who are like, I'm just now switching from violin to viola, because I don't really know that many people who, started out on viola from when they were young
Mhm.
and stuck with it. And
Mhm.
so getting into it, I feel like everybody gets into it a little bit late, but then because it's not like, it's not luscious like the cello, and it's not flashy like the violin. Like a lot of the really competitive people just go into, the other realms, and so then there's all these viola people who are just nicer than nicer than a lot of the violinists. And so and it's like less cutthroat and kind of just more like,
Chill.
and we know we're essential. We know you can't have the orchestra without us, and so it's kind of like do your worst, but we're still gonna be here, like trying to do our best.
Okay, so you told us a little bit about your career, about where you want to go and how you want to develop your career, your favorite composers, and so as we are coming close to the interview, we would like to ask you a couple of maybe questions that are not connected with classical music. So, for example, your hobbies, if you have hobbies that you do, something that you like to do in your free time, favorite books, or what is on your playlist? What do you like to listen? Is it just classical music?
Okay, yeah. I'll start with that last one first. I listened to a bunch of weird stuff. I don't really like pop music. I'm not really into any one genre except for classical, except for I love soundtrack music. That's
Oh yeah.
really what I like listening to all the time. And a lot of older music, like 40s and 50s music is really
So
nice.
which
I have a lot of.
soundtrack is now on your playlist? Which movie?
Well, I mean, I have two main ones that I just keep going through, which is I have just a John Williams
Oh yeah. Oh,
playlist with all the best soundtracks of all time, and then like Hans Zimmer and Michael Giacchino and Patrick Doyle, some people like that are really good.
that's
But
very nice.
other than other than that, in my free time, I like to play video games. I like to compose and arrange music,
Oh yeah,
but
that's cool.
most mostly things revolve around music, which is probably not ideal.
Okay, well, thank you, Matt, so much for this fun interview. I really, really enjoyed meeting you and learning a little bit more about you. And I am excited to hear you play. I wish you all the best luck. Stay healthy, and we will see you soon.
Thanks so much for making the time. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely. Bye, Matt. Have a good day. Bye
Bye.
bye.